Hi, welcome. My name is Cuervo, and I am here to talk to you about meditation, mindfulness, and a little bit about what we do with Alma y Espíritu. So, welcome. So, I invite you to take a deep breath with me so we can arrive in our, hectic lives and we're rushing, including myself. We're all in this rat race. So, let's take a deep breath, and we're here. So let's get started. So today we will talk a little bit about, I'm going to give you a little agenda on the things that we will cover. And then at the end, we will have, I'll tell you about it. But the first thing is why, the big why. We practice meditation and mindfulness. This was the biggest thing for me before I got into this whole world. And if you want to learn more about my background and how I got to, started teaching meditation, coming from the corporate world and from the communications field, feel free to go to my page, and then I have like a little bit of bio there, or just send me an email if you want to, contact me directly. The second thing we will cover is what is meditation, and what is a meditation. I think it's very important that we clear that up. How we sit and the preparation that we need. And we will experience a very, very short guided meditation. And then we will do a short personal reflection. And then at the end, as I said a little bit earlier, I said a little bit of sharing, a little bit of questions. So we will have the time for that. So let's get started. Why? The big why should I do this? And it took me a while to learn all this, but and you can send me messages on the chat if you have questions while we're doing this. If not, if you don't mind waiting till the end, that's fine too. So why we do it? To manage stress. We, as most people, including myself, don't have and tools to deal with the stress that comes from work, from life, and from all the things that happen and just in our everyday lives. So we have in our Latino culture, in the novelas or the soap operas, what we hear, what we see people, how people deal with stress is usually, with alcohol, with some type of substance that will help them relax. And sometimes we need other tools. So mindfulness and meditation are some of those tools that we can use to relax and just to be present and just try to work through hard things in life that we all have. We all face struggles in life. The second thing is avoid feeling overwhelmed. As you see in the picture, just like our head is going 1,000 directions. Just like worries and commitments and deadlines and things that, happen in our personal and professional lives. And with mindfulness and meditation, we have tools. And these are scientifically proven things. I'm not making this up. For the past few years, I think 4 years, I've been studying and looking at all the research that actually backs this up, and also applying it to my own life. So that's why I'm giving out these tools now, because they have worked for me and they still work. I apply them every day. And I want other people to use them in their lives too. It helps you avoid burnout, something that we all face when we face a lot of stress for long periods of time in our profession or our personal lives. So it helps us with that. Help us feel less scattered, all over the place. There are days that we feel like, oh my God, I'm just everywhere and I'm not really getting anything done. So just centering ourselves, helping kind of mellow down whatever is happening in us, can help us. And I'm not going to say it's a happy pill that you take and then all of a sudden you're cured and you're perfect and life is so perfect. No, that's a lie. It's not, even I've been practicing for a lot of years now, and I use this as a tool. And I see the improvement I have, you know, before I will snap in 2 seconds and I'll be like, my heart will be beating and or I'll be sweating, you know, like all these things that happen to us will happen like instantly when something didn't go the way I wanted it to go. And now I see that my body, the stress reactions are, you know, I can be more in control and manage things better because of my long practice. So being constant and working on it, it's like working out, you know, is the meditation and mindfulness are basically are the mental health hygiene of your, you know, of your mind. So you're taking care of your mental health. Like we care about our bodies, you know, sometimes in our society, we don't have tools to care about our, you know, our head, our emotions, how we feel inside. So that's very, very important, you know, because it can lead to, you know, anxiety, like generalized anxiety disorder, which I experienced, depression, you know, just all these things. Stress can become, you know, very anger, like resentment, you know, all these things turn into heavier things in our lives. So it gives us the ability to focus at work, and this is, you know, studies from like Microsoft and like even at Google. You know, they saw that people that meditated had were actually better at doing their jobs because they had the ability to focus on one task and perform better. And lead from your center. For those of us who are leaders, who lead teams, or we are leaders in some way or another in any part of our lives. So what this means is that when you have calmed, like that picture that we see on the screen, we calm the, you know, all the thoughts, and we're calming the emotions. We are able to make better decisions and lead from a place of not anger or frustration or pressures that we usually do if we're in sales and if we're in like, you know, that type of environment. There's a lot of pressure. We lead from fear, and we don't lead from a place of, you know, wanting to succeed and from good things that are making us feel better and not stress. And I say stress because stress, it's like our shoulders, our neck, and just like everywhere, right? And lastly, it helps with finding work and life balance. And I think I already talked a little bit about this. So basically, when we meditate and we practice mindfulness, and we will talk about a little bit about what meditation and actually mindfulness are. We are able to take time and pause and be able to see life with a new perspective, and take things a little slower, because what happens when we don't take the time, sometimes we're very reactive. And I say Roses, I say we, because I include myself in that. When we are not in a state of, you know, when we're in the state of anxiety and stress and being rushed, and we are reactive, and that creates imbalance in our personal and our work lives. So what is meditation? So meditation can be defined in many ways. It feels very simple. Imagine I've been studying this for 2.5 years. So it's the way that I could explain it, the easiest way that I could explain it, because there are so many types of meditations, and we use them for different things. But I want to make it simple. So what the best definition that I could think of was going from doing to being. Meditation for me, and in these things that I do, it's helping us go from doing. Every time we are doing something, and I'll talk a little more about this, but we're always doing, and we're not being present, just being ourselves, and just being without any type of distraction. And we'll talk about this in a second. But so we're basically in meditation and in mindfulness, we are training our minds to be present in all we do, in all the things that we do. And let me say, what does it mean to be present? What does it mean to to be in this being instead of this doing. So it means that we're present without concepts. And it happens a lot when we do something new and we like ride a bike or when we travel and go to a new place. We're completely present, and we don't create concepts around what we're seeing. The brain and the mind always wants to, but there are moments, very short lapses, where we don't create concepts, when we're actually in this direct experience, where we accept things as they are, and we feel inside that everything is like quiet. There's no goal, there's no, you're not walking with a purpose, I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm going to store, or, and an example for myself, it was really hard to learn to walk without a purpose. Every time I walked, I had a purpose. So in the process of going from doing to being, that was like one of the biggest exercises that I still do today. I'm like, hey, today I'm just gonna walk, and I'm gonna apply the being, accept, non-concept, direct experience, no goals, intentional. I'm gonna be intentionally walking, being with my body and being present. So what's the other side? That we're usually lost in this doing. So we're in the past or we're in the future. Very conceptual. We look at everything and we create a concept. We create narratives. And we have this little voice in our head. We all do. We all have this something that I'm talking right now. You say, I don't like what you're saying. Maybe I do like what you're saying. So, whatever it's happening in there, that voice, and we work with that a lot in mindfulness and in meditation. So we evaluate things. Like I said, I like it, I don't like it. Very self-centered. We're not in connection with what's actually happening in our direct experience, what's happening outside of us. And it's not bad. There are times that we need to be in the doing, when we're at work and when we're doing a project. And when we are, we need, but we need to learn when to be doing and when to be being. Because sometimes when you're in the car and you're done with work, you want to be being, because if you're still doing the work and not doing the driving, that's stressful and you're not really present in life. So that's why, we learn that we have to stop ourselves from the doing when it's appropriate. It's not like we're always going to be, no, I'm just present, so I don't prepare for anything at work. No, that's not how it works. It would be amazing if we didn't have to prepare for anything. But yeah, so it's goal directed, autopilot. The autopilot, we get to a place and we don't even know how we got there. And that used to happen to me a lot. I used to drive like an hour and a half commute, and some days I had no idea how I got home. And it happens, it happens to all of us, because we are lost in the head and we're not being present. And this is not so we judge ourselves. We're learning, not just being here. We're trying to do something, learn something to help us kind of get rid of that stress that we have in our lives. Sorry. So meditation isn't, and this is key because this helped me a lot to understand by looking at what it's not. It isn't a religion. Nothing to do with religion. It's a tool, as I said at the beginning, that we use to deal with all the things that I said at the beginning, with stress, feeling overwhelmed, that we don't have. Life doesn't, when we are born, we don't get a tool, a guidebook, or anything that helps us deal with what happens when we're fighting with our coworkers, or our boss is not being very nice to us, or, when our husband is, we're having problems with our partner. So meditation isn't a doctrine or a regimen or a religion. Mindfulness is not either. It's not a special ability that you need to have. It doesn't require a special skill or a special preparation. And it's not going to require a lot of time. Sometimes we can, mindfulness can be practiced in our day-to-day lives, and this is something that we can learn, in some of the classes. And meditation, it's, most meditations, there are some that are actually in life too, but most meditations are sitting meditations. But there are so many types depending on what you're working on. But it can be from 1 minute to 30, 40, whatever works for you. So it doesn't require a lot of time. It will not eliminate sadness or bad moments in life. So it's not this happy pill that you take. It is a way to manage what happens in life, manage those emotions, those feelings, those things that, that we talked about, the whys at the beginning. It helps us, but it's not going to be this medicine that we take that all of a sudden life is perfect. If that existed, imagine somebody will be like a millionaire somewhere. I'm not going to get into that, but it's a way not to think. It's not a way to just stop your mind. It's impossible. And people that have been meditating for 40 years, the Dalai Lama, so many people, it's impossible. It's in the mind. It's always that voice. And what we do is we become friends with our minds and friends with our internal world. We understand it, and we learn that a lot of the things that happen in our head is not really who we are. And I don't want to get in too much deep, but sometimes we have negative thoughts that we're like, why am I thinking that? So we come to understand that sometimes it's, those things just happen, and we don't let those things affect our lives. So it's not a method about just putting positive thoughts, like kind of covering up what we're feeling. Like if I'm feeling I lost somebody that I love and I'm feeling grief, it's not this thing that I'm okay, everything's fine. Like I'm just not, it's not about that. It's about acceptance that we are going through a moment of grief and pain, but we have tools to overcome that. So it's working with it and not kind of like putting a Band-Aid on it, and then it's gonna, the wound is gonna get bigger. It's something that makes us renounce from our personal opinions, our passions, or our goals. Not at all. As I said, I don't want to be too repetitive, but it's nothing to do with how, our tools. There are tools that you can use, and you see, and each of us decides what works for us and what doesn't work for us. So nothing to do with, giving up on having fun or giving up on joy. No, life, you have to live your life the way you want to live it. So meditation isn't, and mindfulness isn't any of these things. And sometimes the media, there's a lot of a boom about mindfulness, and everybody wants to know about mindfulness. And it is an amazing tool that I've been studying, practicing for the last couple of years. But I want to be clear of what it is, and not, I don't want people to sell something that it's not, because there's a lot of, I was watching something the other day, and they sell, you're going to be happy now, and, like the pills that they give you to lose weight. No, it's something that helps me, and it helps me every day, and I will do it for the rest of my life. But it's not this, it's this like cure, I don't know what you would call it. But well, the push, how do you prepare or, you know, sit for meditation. So right now I want you to listen, and then maybe if you're not in a place that you're comfortable, maybe close the door, or, you know, try to mute your phone. We will do a short, very short meditation after I explain how we sit, and suggest how you can practice meditation. So the first thing will be we choose a place where we know we might not get distracted or get interrupted. So we choose a place, and then we choose a time. And sometimes, you know, and it's very flexible, because sometimes I meditate on the train. So it depends on you. You know, if you don't like to be interrupted, and if you really want like a very quiet environment, you know, with time I have learned how to just practice in places there's a lot of people. It depends on what your preference is. The same with time. The only thing that I will say is I would recommend not to do it when you, like, after lunch, like, or maybe if you get sleepy after lunch. And if, you know, just like find the time that works for you and for your body. You will fall asleep if your body needs to sleep. Sometimes you're tired, and not even that, sometimes the body doesn't know what's happening, and it takes a few times for it to learn that when you're relaxing doesn't mean that you're going to sleep. So it's just a matter of time when you start finding, you know, what is it that is your preference. Attire, you can do it anything. I will say, you know, depending on the posture that you choose, I would say something comfortable. I'm wearing jeans, and I'm wearing, you know, half a suit, and I'm fine with that. So you can see the images at the bottom, and the first one and the second one I cannot do. So people that are more advanced and like a very proper, you know, meditative position. There's no formal, you know, position. You know, there's a lot of actual religions and philosophies that, you know, practice meditation, and a lot of these, you know, they have the way that they sit and they practice. We're doing this for us, so it's up to you what feels comfortable. Some people even lay down. I would avoid it if you fall asleep easily. I will encourage it if you have back pain. So it depends on you. Also for the back pain, or, you know, if you have a lot of stress in your body, I would recommend sitting down in a chair like the last one. I do a lot of them in my guided meditations. When I do events, we usually do it, and it's, you know, in the office and the work environments, we do it just in a chair. And when I do this every week, I do it here from my chair. So you put both of your legs, you know, your back always straight. So if you want to start doing that, and put your hands on your lap, or you can also put one on top of the other, whatever feels better. What else can I say about posture? The shoulders relax, and just make sure your back is straight, and your head, it's just kind of like looking straight too. If you want to close your eyes, it's up to you. You can also just find a lower point in front of you, a place that you can look at, and just lower your vision to that place in a very relaxed way. So I'm going to turn off my video, and we're going to do a very short guided meditation, and I want you to listen to me and kind of follow. I invite you to follow some of these things that I will say. So if you haven't done so yet, I want you to find that position where you find a comfort in your body, when you feel relaxed. So maybe sitting on the chair, maybe laying on your back, maybe on the floor. So you find that place that feels good for your hands on your lap, one on top of the other. And I invite you to take a deep breath. And when you release, I want you to let go of all the tension that you feel in your body. Maybe there's tension in your belly. Maybe there's tension in your shoulders. So just release that tension. You're in a safe place. And you're connecting with the calmness that is always inside of you. So I want you to get connected with your breathing. And if that's not comfortable, I want you to put your hand on your umbilical or belly button, your right hand, and feel how your stomach goes up and down. So if you're breathing, if you're following your breathing, I want you to feel how the air comes in and out. And if it helps, you can say the number 1 when you breathe in or when you feel your belly move up. You can say 2 when you exhale and your belly moves down. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I want you to do 2 of these at your own pace. If there's noise or any type of distraction happening outside, we just listen and then go back to our breathing. And we'll do it a couple more times at your own pace. I invite you to follow your breathing or just follow the movement of your belly going up and down. And we're going to take a deep breath. And I invite you to open your eyes. If you closed your eyes, come back here with me. And let's take a little time to reflect on what we just did. So how do you feel right now? What do you feel in your body? And answer that to yourself. What is it that you're feeling right now? Do you feel a little bit of ease, calmness, tranquility? What is it that you're feeling? So what other activities can you think of that make you feel this way? Maybe going for a walk, swimming in the ocean, I don't know. What other things make you feel this way, like you feel in this moment? So what steps can you take in your daily routine to make more time to feel this way? I want you to think about that.